And it's today we're heading to Italy for a review of Universal's You, Me, and Tuscany, the new romantic comedy starring Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean. Is this the rom-com resurgence that audiences have been craving, or does the gorgeous scenery do more than the script? Let's find out, starting now. Welcome to the Nerd Social. I'm Nathan. As always, if you want to jump ahead of this intro to my analysis or rating, see the chapter links below in the description. Yumi and Tuscany opens nationwide on Friday, April 10th, runs an hour and 44 minutes, and is rated PG-13. I caught this one with my wife earlier this week in a press screening, which I felt was appropriate given the subject matter, and I have thoughts. So the spoiler-free logline for this film is, when a woman crashes an empty Italian villa posing as the owner's fiancé, she discovers an unexpected romance that may transform her life. You know where this goes. The question is whether the film makes you enjoy the ride getting there. So, this film is directed by Kat Caro, known for the Jennifer Lopez rom-com Marry Me and the CBS legal drama reboot Matlock. That actually is a pretty good show. She's a director who's comfortable with this genre's conventions and doesn't appear to be interested in subverting them, which is either a feature or a bug depending on what you're looking for or who you are. The screenplay is by Ray Engel from a story he co-developed with Kristen Engel. Engel's prior credits include Rampage and Beasts, which might tell you something about his range. He can write big, broad strokes. The finer details of a romantic comedy, the specific timing of a line, the particular texture of a relationship, the cultural specificity of having two black leads are harder to find here. And the film is produced by Will Packer, whose production company has an excellent track record building crowd-pleasing films around black talent, from Girls Trip to Ride Along franchise. The instinct to build a prestige rom-com around Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean is a sound one. I think this is an idea engineered in the lab. You have two very attractive leads in a setting that a lot of people are going to be attracted to, specifically a lot of white American women. Whether the execution fully honors that instinct is another question, though. As I mentioned, Halle Bailey plays Anna, our lead, a woman who gave up her culinary dreams and trying to find herself on the other side of that loss. Bailey is known for her headline-making performance in Disney's Little Mermaid and her supporting role in the 2023 adaptation of The Color Purple. We actually have a review of that. The link for that is above. Regé-Jean plays Michael, Matteo's cousin and Anna's love interest, a winemaker running a Tuscan vineyard with the kind of brooding intensity that made him a breakout star in the first season of Bridgerton. More recently, he has been in the Dungeons & Dragons movie, which was actually pretty good, and Steven Soderbergh's Black Bag. Lorenzo D'Amore plays Matteo, the Italian real estate investor whose empty villa and misplaced engagement ring kickstart the entire story. He is known for Legend Hunters. Marco Cavani plays Lorenzo, Anna's taxi driver, and one of the film's most reliable sources of warmth and comedy. He's known for the Netflix series 4 Seasons. That's actually pretty good as well. Check it out. Stella Piccollo plays Francesca, Matteo and Michael's sister, and one of the film's most memorable presences, for reasons I'll get into when I get into deeper analysis. Isabella Ferrari plays Gabriella, Matteo's mother, whose arrival at the villa is an exciting incident of the whole deception. And finally, Aziza Scott plays Anna's best friend and the voice of reason Anna does not listen to, known for Home Before Dark. She's known for No Home Before Dark. All right, I think it's time to get into the specifics of the film, but before I do that, if you're enjoying the review so far, please like and share. It really helps the channel out. And with that, let's dig into some deeper analysis. So let me start off with what works. Regé-Jean is doing exactly what Regé-Jean does. And that turns out to be more than enough. Michael is written as a brooding, reticent type, a man with few words and meaningful glances, and plays that register with specificity and warmth and elevates the material around him. When he's on screen, the film has a center of gravity. It doesn't always have it elsewhere. He's a movie star in the old-fashioned sense. He makes the camera want to be on him, and he makes you feel the weight of things the script only partially earns. Halle Bailey is more of a mixed picture for me. She brings genuine sweetness to Anna, and there are individual moments where the character's charms land. But range-wise, I want to be fair here because I've now only seen her in this, The Little Mermaid, and she had a very small role in The Color Purple. The distance between those performances didn't feel significant enough to suggest a dramatic leap forward to me, and it requires a comedic physicality and an emotional specificity that Bailey reaches for but doesn't always find. The script isn't doing her many favors, to be clear, but Paige seems to find ways to work around the script's limitations. Bailey is sometimes carried along by them. Now, the real surprise performers are Marco Cavani as Lorenzo, the taxi driver, is a genuine delight. Every scene he appears in has an infectious warmth and a comedic timing that feels effortless. He's exactly the kind of supporting character a good rom-com needs, someone who makes you wish that there were more scenes with him. But the real scene stealer is Stella Puccello as Francesca. Francesca operates between comedy relief and force of nature. Her commentary is borderline lewd, her delivery is utterly committed, and she leans into a certain Italian archetype with enough self-awareness and energy to make it work rather than wince. Every time she opened her mouth, my wife and I both reacted. That's the job, and she does it better than almost anyone else in this film. Now, Tuscany itself. The natural landscapes are generally beautiful. The kind of scenery that makes you want to book a flight. The town scenes are picturesque and quaint in exactly the way you'd hope, and the cinematographer Danny Ruffalo makes the most of what the location provides. But the film's ambition runs into a ceiling at the vineyard. And I want to be specific about this because it's a film that made me think about my own experience visiting a vineyard in Peru with my wife. There's a scene where the two leads share wine together in what's meant to feel romantic and cinematic, and it's shot as a static montage that cuts between glasses. In a more ambitious film, those cuts would move through the full physical experience of working on a vineyard. The tasting room, the production floor, the bottling line, the planting blocks. That's what you remember when you actually visit one of these places. The feeling of a working operation that has a history and a craft and scale. The film keeps you locked into one spot and it just changes wine. That same scene also doesn't do Bailey any favors visually. Throughout most of this film, she's stunning and occasionally reaches for genuinely ethereal, but the wardrobe choices and the shot composition at this vineyard scene work against her. Seated across Paige, who towers over her when they're standing, the framing makes her appear squat and at times larger than him, which flattens the dynamic in the film. That's a costuming and a directing problem, not a Bailey problem, but it shows, and it took me out of the film a bit. I actually commented to my wife as I was watching it. Related to this, Michael appears to be running an entire vineyard and winery by himself. Acres of planting blocks, a full operation, no visible employees. There are townspeople with small speaking lines scattered throughout the film who could have easily been placed on the property as workers, giving the vineyard a more believable texture and also giving you more of an insight into Michael as a boss. Whether this is a budget constraint or a directorial oversight, it shows. For a film leaning so hard on the romance of this place and this lifestyle, it's a missed opportunity. The script more broadly has this quality. It gestures at things it doesn't fully develop, and its culinary background, the loss that derailed her career, the specific texture of what she's been running from. These are present as setup, but the film is more interested in the deception mechanics and the will they, won't they, than the emotional depth underneath, which I guess is a legitimate choice in this genre, but it's also why this film lands as pleasant rather than memorable. So what is it? A perfectly competent, occasionally charming, visually lovely, romantic comedy that will give you a good time at the theater without giving you a great deal to carry home. So in my final analysis, You, Me, and Tuscany earns a date night rating or a 6 on our scale. And if you're unfamiliar with our scale, it is down below in the description. It won't ruin your evening. It may make you want Italian food. It definitely did that for my wife, and a glass of wine afterwards, which is not nothing. Regé-Jean Page is doing his thing. Stella Puccello is a name to watch, and Tuscany is as beautiful on the screen as you'd hope. But if you're looking for a rom-com that's going to stick with you, that has something specific to say about the people in it and the place they inhabit, this one stops short of that bar. It's a date night, not a road trip. It was perfectly pleasant as a date night with my wife, and she herself felt it was a cut above a Lifetime, Hallmark, or Christmas rom-com, but we still just as well could have seen this at home. It doesn't elevate the deception love triangle rom-com like Moonstruck or While You Were Sleeping, and it isn't as interesting or thoughtful as some other black rom-coms you could watch at home like Rye Lane or Sylvie's Love. So that's what I thought of Yumi and Tuscany. Have you seen the film yet? Did Stella Pacello's Francesco catch you off guard the way she caught me off guard? And did the vineyard sequences live up to what you hope from a film set in Tuscany? Or did you notice the same gaps that I did? What did you think of Michael and Anna's chemistry? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and share. It really helps the channel grow. And subscribe and hit the bell icon for more in-depth analysis of film and TV. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.